Hey Stitchers, it's Trisha with 3 All Threads. Come back for another video. It's been probably almost 2 weeks since I've recorded. We were on vacation last week, and honestly this week I haven't done any stitching for the reasons I talked about last time. I have some quilting deadlines that need to be happening. 3 projects by the end of this month. I already have 2 pretty much wrapped up, which I might show you later. So no stitching this week, but I still have stitching to show. While I was on vacation, I finished 3 things. Did I finish 3? Maybe I finished 2 and finished the 3rd the day after vacation. Anyway, I have 3 finishes. I have 2 new starts, which are my works in progress right now. I have some haul that I'm probably going to start with, and then I think towards the end I'm going to do the Teresa tag. I have that somewhere near me. So let's get started with some haul. I don't have all of my haul. I am still missing my package from the Picture This Plus sale, which probably nobody has because it was ridiculous. And I did receive a shipping confirmation from Gina's Unique Needle Minders while I was on vacation, and I was super excited about that, but there has been no movement in that package. I did send her a message. I haven't heard back yet, so I'm just assuming that she hasn't made it to the post office yet, but it's been a week, so I'm really anxious to see those. Hoping they didn't get lost someplace. On a side note about shipping, I sold a bunch of Xbox games for my 13-year-old, and literally one package got lost from my mailbox, which is out at the road, to the mail truck, which is out at the road. So like this much distance. It was gone, and it showed that it never got picked up. I was really disappointed by that, because how does that happen? So I'm a little worried that something like that happened, but hopefully not. So we will get started with my haul, or stash enhancement. I got the second half of my order from 123 Stitch, so I'm pretty excited about that. These were the things that were on back order. All patterns. The new Prairie Schooler Santa was released recently, and for some reason I have decided that I love Santas. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these Santas, but I love them and I want to stitch them. So I purchased the 2015 Prairie Schooler Santa, and To All a Good Night, which I'm thinking, so is this like because they're closing and To All a Good Night, so this is their last pattern? I don't know. I just thought that last night when I was looking over this. I was like, oh, that's kind of apropos, isn't it? Made me a little sad, even though I've never purchased, other than these, never purchased a Prairie Schooler thing. And then, so somebody a couple nights ago was destashing on the Facebook group, Stash Unload. If you haven't checked that out, you should totally join. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. But anyway, there was one person that I think just sat there. She got everything. I tried to get a couple things, and then I just gave up because she was so fast. Anyway, but I got these Santas. So, I'm just kidding. Good for her to get that. She was just so quick. And they were super cute patterns, and I bet I can find them somewhere. They were super cute. Anyway, so, and To All a Good Night for 2015. I just licked my finger. 2014 Santa. We wish you a Merry Christmas. It's showing up backwards. 2013 Santa. Super fun. Maybe you guys have these. I don't know. 2012 Santa. I like him. I like all these Santas. All of these Santas are super fun. 2011, 2010, oops, I'm falling here, 2009, 2008, I really like him a lot, 2007, in 2006. I don't know how far back these go, but I'm going to be on the lookout because I would be interested in getting a whole set if I could, along with everybody else in the whole stitching world. That could get ugly. Along with that, I also got my first Alessandra Adelaide. This is tea. I'm not a big tea drinker, but I liked this cup better than the coffee one. I'll probably get the coffee one too at some time. And I like green because green is my favorite color. So I got that. I'm excited to start that pretty soon at some point. I think there's a stitch along coming from some group somewhere. I need to refer to my list. So that was my 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I think in the last video I mentioned that Heaven and Earth Designs had I believe 35% off their charts, and I bought 4, and those came while I was on vacation. It was a big haul vacation, and I wasn't here to get any of it. So I purchased 3 quick stitches and 1 mini. So my first quick stitch was this, which is the Tranquil Tulip. Somebody on, I believe, Cross Stitch and Discuss had this pattern. I really like it. I like tulips. I like butterflies. Super fun. My second one was this owl. I can't read it. Wishing Tree 1. I believe there were 2 in my wish list. Maybe there's 4. I'm not sure. There we go. Like that. Don't know when I'm going to start that, but I like it. This one I'm most excited about. This I will be starting in the new year, in 2016. It's called Motherhood. Lots of blacks and grays and whites and Krennic. And I mentioned last time I bought 2 different kinds of 032 Krennic because I didn't know what there was. So I got the 8 braid, number 8 braid, and the blending filament. You need number 4. That was not on my list that I downloaded before I got the chart. It just said 032, and I figured out that was, yeah. So I'm gonna have to buy that. Darn. And then this quick stitch, mini sunflowers. It's not a quick stitch. It's a mini sunflowers. I have a thing for sunflowers as well. I don't know when I'll start that, but I will someday. I like it. So that was it for Heaven and Earth Designs. Where I'm gonna start putting stuff. Carolyn Mazio, I'm so sorry, Mazio, had mentioned in one of her last videos, maybe 2 videos ago, maybe 3, that Brooks Books Publishing was having a sale on their Wonderful Wizard of Oz Once Upon a Stitch series. Jumped all over that. So quickly, I got the chart pack, which was 10 charts, I believe, for $25. Dorothy Gale, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, who I love. I love the book version of the Cowardly Lion. He's so cute. Glinda the Good, the Wicked Witch of the West, who this little thing right here, as soon as I see that, I often think that it's a mustache. I don't know what to do about that. One of the Flying Monkeys. This is the Wizard, of course. What is this? What is she? A Quadling. So one of the Miss Quadlings. The Baker. I believe he's a baker. Yes, Mr. Gilligan. Mr. Gilligan, the baker. I don't remember him in the books. And then 2 that were not included in the chart pack I purchased because why not? The Mayor, I believe that's the Mayor. I'm not looking. The Mayor and Mrs. Winky. Excited about that. So who else is stalking Brooke's Etsy page for the Wizard of Oz Santa that she's putting out? That was supposed to be released. She said she was going to release it last week while I was on vacation, and I stalked that Etsy page at least 3 times a day looking for that thing. It's not out there yet. I just looked before I started up my camera. Waiting. And she also has a Santa, like a regular Santa, that I super like. So those will be coming home with me eventually, just not until she releases them. So I also went on Etsy and I was looking for a gift for somebody. I wanted to get a scissors fob which I never really understood before, but they're totally cute. So I found an Etsy shop, which I will link down below, called JD Creative Hands, and they just sent me this with my order on Etsy. And I bought 3 fobs. They were $10 each. Pretty, super pretty, which actually really spurred me. Yesterday I was at the store, like my grocery store, Meijer, for anybody that's in the area and knows what Meijer is, and they had a bunch of their beading stuff on sale, and I bought some because I thought I can make these, because that's what I think about everything. I can make this. I can make some of these for myself. Why not? Let's try it. So anyway, so this was the fob that I bought for the gift. I'm going to try to put it behind something. It is a little owl, and it is these brown beads. I should do this way. Really pretty. I like it. It's got this nice little lobster claw and beading wire. Looks like it's actually a wire. So that'll be really nice. I think that my intended recipient will enjoy that. And then of course I had to buy something for me. So I bought this little tinier one. You see it like that? It is an owl because I like owls. And it's green because green is my favorite color. I wish that would show up a little bit better. And it's got a little heart clasp. I like that. I will probably slap that on a pair of scissors when I'm done here. And then I bought this one, which is cool because the clasp is a swivel clasp, and I think you could easily use this for a keychain, but this is butterflies, and I like butterflies, and it's got a little heart at the bottom. Can you see that? My light's a little crazy. Fun. So JD Creative Hands. Great price, super fast shipping, shipped like the next day, got them fast, good times. Check them out. I will probably, I don't know if I will buy more of these, but I will make more of these, most definitely. There they are. So that's it for my haul. Still missing a couple packages, have done some more buying. How do you stop buying things? I, last night, watched the lovely Array's finished video on her Dinky Dye samplers, and this morning I went out to Stitching Bits and Bobs, which I just realized is in Plainwell, Michigan, which is probably an hour from here, maybe. I didn't Google map it, but I should. I knew the area code and what direction it is. And they had those charts and those floss packs on sale. And then there was a bunch of other stuff. I literally had like $300 worth of stuff in my chart, and I had to cull. I had to cull it all, except for those Dinky Dyes. Those I just purchased, so you'll see those soon. I've never stitched with silk, so, but I had to. I just had to. I'm sure you can relate. Had to. So, moving right along to my finishes. I have 3 finishes to show that I finished last week while I was on vacation. Well, 2 while I was on vacation, 1 the night we came home. It was fabulous. The first one was from Cross Stitch and Discusses 7-day, or the Crazy 7, their 7-day challenge, 7 starts in 7 days. So I finished this one. This is Hand in Heart We Won Snow. There are some mistakes in this one. I can see this. I'm pretty sure that snowflake was supposed to come out here somewhere. I lost like a row or a column or 2 of stitches, but that's okay because it looks cute, and who cares about that. And then this little cardinal button. This really was a quick stitch. I think I'm gonna turn it into an ornament. It was a lot of fun. I like it a lot, so I just need to finish that. Maybe we'll see an FFO next time. That would be fun. The second one I finished was the one I stitched on for my mother-in-law for Christmas. It is the House Blessing Dog by Stitchworks. And this is, pull it back here, this is what it looks like finished, still wrinkled. I think I'm going to try to frame it myself. Had a lot of fun. There are definitely some issues in this, especially this tree. Like towards the end, I was just filling in wherever I felt like filling in because somewhere some stuff went array. And then this sunshine, the middle is supposed to be a darker orange, not the yellow from the window, but I left it because it looks cute, and who would know? Nobody would know but me. So there's that. Oh, and yeah, I'm not going to point out any more mistakes because that's silly. So here it is. I'm excited about that. I think that my mother-in-law will like that. Oh, and there, see that little thing right here? So this is gonna make me, I decided that I was going to frame it myself because I know that there's some extra stuff that needs to be done at the framers to accommodate something as bulky as that button. And I thought, I'm just gonna frame it and maybe I'll make it look like puffy and not put any glass in it. And I need to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll just wing it because I wing things and that's how you learn, right? My third finish was what I finished when we came home. It was the last night that I stitched until I got my quilting deadlines done. So this was my Flower Power freebie from Elizabeth Almond. This was also a Crazy 7 stitch. And what I did modify it a little bit. I added these little gold Mill Hill beads to the middle of my flowers, and then the pattern called for X's in these little clover guys, and I just left them out because I liked the way they looked lacy. So that was yeah, that was a fun finish. The beads were not that difficult. If you are at all intimidated by beading, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I actually referred back to Mackenzie's video when she showed how to bead, or how she beaded, I think it was one of her Mirabilias, and then she had linked below her video a tutorial that she watched that helped her. And so I watched both, and it was easy. It was easy peasy, no problem. So those are my 3 finishes, soon to become FFOs. Soon. I already said that, but soon. Because I don't like just leaving that stuff languishing, especially because one's a gift. So then I talked about the Crazy 7, and I was on the 6th day when I recorded, and I hadn't started my 6th project. So I did start that, obviously, the 6th and the 7th. August 6th, I had scheduled, and this is a freebie, Teresa Wensler's hummingbird from her website. I believe it was meant, it's on 18 count Ada, and I think that it was meant as a practice project or a tutorial for special stitches and stitching over 2. It's very strange, and you'll see I haven't gotten there yet, but I have my frame done. The pattern called for white. I'm very shaky because I haven't eaten yet and I've had a lot of coffee. The pattern called for white pearl cotton, but I didn't know that until after I kitted it up, because in the floss recommendations it didn't say pearl cotton, it just said white. So I chose DMC, so it's fine. That's a satin stitch, I understand. It's time for me to start filling in now the hummingbird, and I'm going to be stitching 2 over 2, but it's 2 over 2 18 count. Blows my mind. So in theory it should be super easy and super quick, but I still keep thinking to myself, that can't be right, that can't be right, that can't be right. And then the hummingbird in the middle is stitched over 1, which makes more sense because it's Ada. But it makes, if this is like a teaching piece, then it makes sense, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with it anyway. I'm excited to get back to this, actually. I might work on this soon as I can stitch more. And then my 7th start for the Crazy 7 is Needleworker. I cannot say how much I love this. Is this upside down? Turned it upside down. I love the fabric I chose, which is just a 28 count Lugana in khaki. There we go. The threads that came with the pack, and I don't have what they are up here, they just move through this like butter. I I enjoy the movement of stitching on this piece. I did not enjoy that W. I had to rip that out a few times. But I love this. I love this. I look forward to this. For those of you that don't know what it's going to look like, it's going to look like this. It's gorgeous. I am so pleased with this. I'm so pleased. Very pleased. Get back on that soon. I might get back to the hummingbird before anything else. You know what I really need to do? I need to work on my frosted pumpkin Very Merry Christmas Town, because I know that the second clue is not far off and I have not worked on that at all. That's bad. Bad, bad, bad. So that's it for all of my stitching works. Teresa tag, I'm going to do that, and then like I said, I'm going to show you a little bit of what is keeping me from cross stitching. But let's do this tag first because it was super fun, and Teresa Little Stitcher is so cute. I just want to be her some days because she's just so fun. And the other day she did her little cyberbullying she did her cyberbullying video, which is it's not a funny video, but the funny part is that I have a friend who is from someplace in England. I wish I knew where, and I don't know where you're from, Teresa, so I hope this doesn't offend you. But this is this is the story. There's a little backstory. So his name is Stuart. His name is Graham. His name is Stuart, and I just love listening to him talk. He was one of my instructors when I worked at our local community college, and I would always tease him and tell him to talk English, which he hated, which is why I said it. And he told the story of one time he was back home, because he lives here. He was back home in a pub, not a bar, but a pub, and there were some American women there, and he had had a really bad day at work, and he was just coming to get a beer and like chat with his friends, and they were all over him because he's a cute guy, you know, good looking guy, and he has that accent, right? And Americans apparently love that accent. And they just would not stop pestering, and finally he told them to piss off. And the way he said it was the exact same way that Teresa said piss off in her video, and I cracked up, and that was a whole big long story about nothing other than, Teresa, I love you, you're so cute. And he also taught me what the word bollocks meant, which I thought was pretty funny too. I love slang in different languages or different dialects. It's super fun. Anyway, we're gonna move right along to her little tag. So here we go. Number 1, do seasons affect your stitching pattern? Well, since I just started stitching again in May, which was spring, and now we're in summer, I'm gonna say no, not yet. The seasons do tend to affect some of my other crafts. I have not picked up a knitting needle since probably February. I tend to knit more in the winter because it's warm. Holding yarn is it's a little more bulky and hot, especially depending on what you're working with. And I'm okay with that in the winter, not okay with that necessarily in the summer. So cross stitching, I think, will probably go through all seasons, as well as quilting, though in the summer I generally create smaller pieces because I hand bind and I don't want all of that bulk sitting on me. So I'm gonna say no. No, it does not affect my stitching. Do you prefer stitching with a lap stand or floor stand or in hand? I stitch in hand. I don't have a floor stand or lap stand, though I'm looking into them. I do have little kids, and having something out all the time is not feasible right now, but I'm going to work on that. Do you prefer stitching with a hoop, Q-snap, frame, or in hand? I stitch with a Q-snap and hoop, and I've done a couple things in hand. It just depends on the project, and that's it. It just depends on the project. Obviously, smaller things, ornaments, and stuff like that, even though those... My Flower Power, the black work, I did in hand. The Wee One Snow, I did in a tiny Q-snap. And some of the other ones I've done in hoops. Just depends, I guess. Do you use stitching light or no additional lighting? I do use additional lighting, especially at night, because the lighting in my house is terrible. In fact, I have an OttLite task light on me right now because we keep going. We're supposed to storm all day. It hasn't rained yet, but the sunshine keeps waving in and out. But that's what I use. I don't necessarily like it. I think I need something bigger. so I'm on the lookout. And I'm actually looking for, and I said in my last video, I got that little clip light, but I'm looking for something like a reading light. I'm sure I can find one on Amazon. I just keep forgetting. So I do use additional lighting all the time. I need it. Number 5, do you use a magnifier? No, but I need to. I wear contact lenses and I have glasses as well, though my 1.5-year-old just broke them. So today I'm going to get new glasses. But I think I wear my contacts almost all the time. They're day and night, so I even sleep in them, which is not the best for your eyes, but that's how they market them and that's how I use them. I think I need some of those teeny tiny glasses, and I said that before. I need to go someplace and get those glasses because I do find myself, you know, as you get older, you kind of hold things back. I'm doing that, and I need something else. So there you go. Number 6, do you stitch one-handed, two-handed, or both? I stitch one-handed. I think that someday when I get a stand, I will try to stitch two-handed, but right now I'm one-handed. I'm sure that it's slower. I'm okay with that. I don't stitch for speed. Number 7, do you prefer to stitch alone in a quiet place or around family and in the living area? I prefer to stitch alone. I prefer to stitch when it's quiet. At night, everybody kind of disperses to do their own thing after the little kids go to bed, and that is when I seem to stitch the most. I can stitch. I can't stitch when there's a lot going on. Actually, I can't. I don't think. Alone. What is your preferred fabric and preferred count of that fabric? Right now I'm really enjoying a 25 count even weave or 28 count Lugana. I think that's what this is, 28 count for my needle worker. I really like that. I really like even weave and Lugana the best. Linen's okay, I can do it, but I just like the feel of the way the floss pulls through the Lugana. And I am not at all against Ada at all, but it definitely feels tougher, stiffer. So, but I'll work it all. Don't worry about that. I will work it all. Number 9, in your time stitching, have you ever lost your stitchy bug? And if so, how many times and how did you get it back? I must have lost it 10, 12 years ago when I stopped stitching, and I got it back by finding a cross-stitch video on YouTube, and that introduced me to FlossTube, and then I just needed to get started, and I haven't lost it yet. I am on a self-imposed strike right now because I have to get other things done. Otherwise, I would just stitch all the time, every day, every night. Can't do that. It's not a good way to make money for me. It's a way to lose money for sure. So I'll have to get back on you know, on that one. Number 10, last question. Do you travel and stitch? Would you or do you stitch on public transport, or is it a home hobby only? This last vacation that we just took last week, I did stitch a little bit in the car. I didn't show you that. That's okay. It was just my Chinese kit, and it's stamped, and I thought that was, I don't have to count. 11 count fabric with floss. No big deal. And yeah, so I did that in the car, but it did make me a little car sick. I don't take public transport. I haven't in years because I don't really have to go anywhere. And but I would take it on vacation. I've done 2 vacations now where I've taken my stitching. No problem. No problem. So thank you, Teresa, for that awesome tag. Appreciate that. Hope you guys enjoyed those answers. If you're done, if you're not interested in seeing my sewing projects, I have 2, no big deal. You can click off. I will not be offended. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great stitching day and week. But for those of you that want to see, I'm going to show you that now. I am involved in a couple swaps on Instagram, sewing swaps, and they're due at the end of the month, and there are 2 smaller projects and then 1 mini quilt, which is a larger project. It's not like a big quilt, but a mini quilt. But this is the one that I made. It was a woodland, magical woodland theme. This ended up being a little more Halloween-y, but I don't think my partner will care. This is a pattern. It's a fusible applique pattern that I found on Etsy. It is called the Halloween Owl from Quilt Doodle Designs. and basically I cut out all the pieces from different fabrics and then fused them down with Wonder Under, and then I did some blanket stitching. See that blanket stitch there on the wing and on his head, and then I used my sewing machine to stitch around the eyes, and I didn't do any sewing on the inner eyes. That's this guy. He was cute. He took me just a couple nights. The blanket stitching was the most tedious part. It's my first time blanket stitching. It's in this, I just hand stitched around it. Used scraps from my stash and used a fusible fleece in the middle. And then this is, oops, oh, I just dropped him. Sorry. This is probably gonna be covered in fur now. This is the back that I used, which was a fabric that I've had for several years. I used it for my second ever quilt, and I love it. So that is that. Hopefully she likes that. The second one I bought, this was just a teeny tiny swap of making a small to medium sized project. This is also a little mug rug, though it's smaller. This pattern is Fancy Fox by Elizabeth Hartman. I will link these shops below if any of you are interested. These are scraps. I don't know what kind of fabric this is. I don't know who the designer is, but they're scraps. And then I used this on the back. I'm pretty sure they're scraps that I picked up in scrap sales on Instagram. I've picked up quite a few. I love this. I do believe this is a vintage something or other for clothes. It's 100% cotton, but it just worked. It was cute. This fox is adorable. So those are 2 out of my 3 swaps that I got done. I just have to pick up, and this owl, this is the one that I'm sending the scissors fob with, the owl, because it's magical, mystical, wonderland, forest-y. So I think that'll work. So that's it. That's what I've been working on, other than, you know, keeping my babies alive and picking up stuff after vacation. We're settling back in. Thanks for sticking around for those extra couple minutes. I love sharing all of my crafts, so hopefully, you know, you guys saw those. And I can hear my kids wrestling up from naps, even though they've only been laying down for about a half an hour. So I'm going to have to go put those kids back to bed. Hope you all are having a great week. Keep on stitching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.